there's no wrong way to write a song, but once you're able to identify those things, you're able to identify a lot of commonality in music.
And how do you go about creating your songs?
Yeah, it's all different every time. I started making music as a 12-year-old. I didn't know how to produce or anything, so I knew a little bit of piano. I was sort of a remedial pianist, remedial guitarist. So I would play the 2-3 chords I knew and make up words and melodies over that. And that was really how I wrote everything for the first 5 or 6 years. Like, that was the only way. And then I started bands with my friends in high school, and then it was a fun I'd have a great drummer and he'd play a beat, and that would maybe inspire like slightly more rhythmic lyrics and melody, and that was exciting. And then as I got a little bit older, throughout high school, I was like trying to figure out how to produce. And so that was the other thing, was making little, instrumental loops with MIDI tracks and writing over those, because they do inspire different things. I think it would be hard to write, an incredible rap over something with no rhythm at all to sort of play off of, and it can be done, and great rappers do it, but it's more typical to write more rhythmic lyrics over rhythm. So
yeah. I read that you went on a production course with your mum. Was this an afternoon or a week-long experience?
Our mom does write songs. She never made a living out of it really at all, but wrote songs as kind of a hobby. And when we expressed a little bit of interest when we were young, she sort of was like, well, there's no wrong way to write a song, but let's talk about song structure. Let's talk about what a bridge is and what a rhyme scheme is. Once you're able to identify those things, you're able to identify a lot of commonality in music. And then you can break all those rules, but it's cool to know them and understand them. But there was never any production, but in terms of songwriting, it was really fun. It was cool. She'd sort of be like, because I think sometimes as a songwriter, you feel a lot of pressure to like express your innermost, really bare your soul. And she really instilled in us a kind of a like, yes, but also you could just write a song that's made up, that's about something else. And I remember one time she sort of suggested that we write a song about like a plot of a TV show, but you put yourself in the shoes of some character on TV. It's very liberating. And I think about the sort of scope of our career now, and I think like, oh, that's one of the reasons like doing something like the James Bond song felt so natural to us, was because we'd sort of had this like childhood of an awareness of writing about somebody other than yourself, and it takes the pressure off. Sometimes you're not going through heartbreak, and it's like writing a song about heartbreak would be inauthentic if you were like, I have to feel it,
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But it sounds like that whole part of growing up, you were surrounded by a milieu of creativity, but also discussion of music, discussion of songs, what they're all about, both within your family, but also with your friends. And you were clearly somebody who was gripped by it.
I was obsessed with music, from the time I was about 10, 11. I mean, I listened to music growing up constantly, but then, I remember having this little stupid MP3 player. Like when iPod was getting big, I couldn't afford an iPod, so I had like whatever the thing that and then I'd like load LimeWire songs onto it, which isn't stealing, so I'm saying it on this show. It was file sharing. It's a different thing. But I had some stupid little MP3 player it had no screen, so you just kind of like be like blind shifting through songs. So I was really obsessed with that as a kid, under 10. And then when I was like 11, 12, I just got so obsessed with sort of like a deeper understanding of it, and listening to songs and understanding what about it was, sounding cool to me, and why it made me feel a certain emotion. It's always been like so exciting to me.
Yeah.